Hey, how's it going, guys? Mr. Boss for the win here, and in today's GTA 5 video, we're going to be talking about all of the changes that Rockstar Games have made to the GTA Trilogy, the Definitive Edition. So last week, Rockstar put out an announcement that they were going to be finally making some more changes to the Trilogy Definitive Edition, where they announced a new patch would be coming out in the coming days. They said they were appreciative for everyone's support and patience. As you guys know, the Trilogy Definitive Edition titles, Grand Theft Auto 3, Vice City, and San Andreas, they started out with a lot of bugs, issues, glitches. It just really looked like they were rushed out the door. Well, ever since then, Rockstar have done a pretty good job. They've even acknowledged that the games did not meet their standards. They've done a good job of updating them. And we actually saw a brand new patch. And when I'm recording this video, all platforms, PlayStation, Xbox, PC, and Nintendo Switch have a brand new patch. So before you play, you're going to need to download them. The Nintendo Switch patch actually came out, I think it was like early on Friday. So maybe Nintendo actually approved it earlier than the PlayStation, Xbox, and PC guys. But now, no matter what platform you're on, you actually have the ability to download this new update and check out all the changes. Now, if you guys are wondering what the download sizes are, for Grand Theft Auto San Andreas, it's 18.5 gigabytes. For GTA Vice City, it's 8.9 gigabytes. And for Grand Theft Auto 3, it's 4.18 gigabytes. So pretty significant downloads right there, with obviously Grand Theft Auto San Andreas being the most significant, then Vice City and Grand Theft Auto 3. Now, what's nice about this is Rockstar has actually put out a support article that outlines all the changes that they've ended up making to these games, and I'll leave a couple of links in the description to some Rockstar Intel articles that do a good job of breaking down some of the bigger changes that you might notice when you end up playing these titles. But as far as on all titles, there's a couple of generic things that they ended up doing. Rockstar said they improved game performance across all graphics modes, stability improvements. They fixed several issues when attempting to retry a mission from the last checkpoint, fixed a number of collision issues, and then fixed a number of texture art and signage issues. Okay, so just running through a couple of those right now. Whether you are on a performance graphic mode or one that's supposed to save performance, now the game is just going to run a whole lot better. So the game is obviously going to run best on the more powerful systems, PC, PlayStation 5, Xbox Series X, but now across any platform, it's going to just run a little bit better. It's also going to have more stability improvements, so there's going to be less crashes, there's going to be less blue screens where it just like totally kicks you out altogether. A lot of issues where attempting to retry a mission where you couldn't do so, which means you'd have to start over from scratch. That was one of the big things that Rockstar touted when this game came out, is that you'd be able to do that. They also fixed a number of collision issues, although I'm seeing a lot of examples where that actually is not the case. So collision would be like where your character's feet go through like the steps walking up a set of staircases or something like that, or when your car's tires actually go through the road. Those are collision problems that are not all that good, and I have seen reports of that. So maybe these are just one-off examples, but it doesn't seem like these patches worked all that great. And then as far as the other one went, fixed a number of texture art and signage issues. There was a lot of misspellings that these games came with, and like the wrong art just being on posters and whatnot. I don't know. It still seems like there's a lot of issues, as you guys can see right here. Instead of Escobar Airport, it's Escobat Airport. So again, just so many issues that we still continue to see in the Trilogy, the Definitive Edition. But there's also a ton more that were made for Grand Theft Auto 3, Vice City, and San Andreas. Now, with the ones that are specific for the various games, it usually has to do with features that are only available in those titles or various missions. So a lot of improved collisions near a lot of the stores that you can find in Grand Theft Auto 3. Or they fixed issues on the signage that might be at like a Pay and Spray in Grand Theft Auto 3. They also fixed an issue with the KJRA radio icon. in Grand Theft Auto 3, which is really, really nice. For those of you guys that use the radio wheel, you know how obnoxious that actually was. A couple of big changes that were also made. Claude now has the original animation to turn around. I wonder if Rockstar reverted to the PS2 animations, but it looks a little bit better. Also, now all vehicles will feature taillights and brake lights, and lights on bridges now have proper collisions as well. So this is quite nice. Again, changes that really, quite frankly, should have been there all the way around. Grand Theft Auto Vice City improved a ton of textures at hotels and improved collisions on bridges and parking lots and fences all around the map. So now your cars and your character won't like get stuck in them, or they won't like put your arm through a wall and be able to see it on the other side. This isn't Portal. So they just fixed a lot of stuff like that that's supposed to make the game not feel like it's just a broken mess all the way around. Grand Theft Auto San Andreas seems like it got the most work done to it just based off of the number of things Rockstar addressed, from the fade haircut to improving audio during certain missions to, again, fixing collisions on a handful of different places around the map. Lots of big changes for GTA San Andreas, the definitive edition. Now, sort of a fun fact, in case you guys are wondering, which I find interesting about this sort of stuff. Apparently, these are the build dates from when the patches were actually finished. So Grand Theft Auto San Andreas was just a couple of days ago on February 23rd, whereas GTA Vice City and GTA 3 were at the back end of January, with Vice City being on the 31st and GTA 3 being on the 23rd. So it does sound like work on what GTA San Andreas is what took Rockstar so long to end up publishing these patches. Because the others were done in January, it took a couple more weeks for Rockstar to end up working on GTA San Andreas, which is understandable. It's the biggest, probably the most popular game of those three titles right there. But as always, I will leave links to all those resources in the description. These are some amazing changes that Rockstar ended up making. It's not 100% perfect yet, but we're at least heading in the right direction. So as always, I'd love to hear from you guys in those comments down below, or you can reach out to me on my Facebook page where you can send messages, photos, videos, and more on what you think of the latest patch for the Grand Theft Auto Trilogy, the definitive edition. Let me know what you think about it down there or over there. If you guys did go on to enjoy this video, though, a like rating would, of course, be awesome. And be sure to subscribe to my YouTube channel if you are new. You want to stay up to date on all the latest GTA and all the Rockstar Games videos that I'll be doing here on my channel. And be sure to ring that notification bell as well. Sometimes YouTube just doesn't work, and if you ring that bell, you'll always be guaranteed to be notified when new videos arrive. But of course, as always, guys, thank you all so much for watching. Take care, and I'll see you guys in the next video.